I'm so excited to tell you about our partner, Isomer Skincare Laboratories. You guys, rooted in science and integrity, in the best ingredients and best delivery systems. Unlike any other skincare on the market, for over 30 years, they've been giving you the real science. So this isn't trend. This isn't the hot ingredient of the day on TikTok. This is 30 years of solving your skincare problems. So we're partnering with them today. Happy 20, HAPPY20 gets you 20% off your order. You have free shipping and handling at $100 or more, and they have a solution for every problem. Mature, aging skin, they've got you covered. Sinking, sagging skin, they've got you covered. You can take a really easy test on isomers.ca. And it will tell you, it will recommend exactly what you need for your skincare needs. Or you can go in there and find some of their icons like the Copper P serum. They've got an amazing pure hyaluronic acid, nothing but hyaluronic acid. Their Fast Lift Eye Serum is an industry icon. That's all available at their website. You go to isomers.ca, you use the code HAPPY20. Please use that so they know that we sent you. You get 20% off your order. You'll get free shipping and handling at $100 or more. And if you don't know where to start, take that quiz. It will tell you exactly what to do. Happy 20 at isomers.ca. All right, girls, you've been asking for her. If you haven't met her before, let me give you a brief introduction. This is a woman who has had about 900 lives. She's a model, a makeup artist, an author. She has been on your television screen for decades. She's a busy mother of two gorgeous girls, living in New York City, and she makes aging look so much fun.
Bring it on.
Look so easy. You've asked for her. She's here. Ladies and gentlemen, Morgen Schick.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So happy to have you here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. First of all, I'm so proud of you because to be girls that work together and decide to connect and then roll into other iterations of your life, it is hard to do it on your own. It's really hard to trust someone else, especially females who are supposed to be so, connected, cheerleader for each other. And I think it's sometimes a lot of talk and talk. But so when I see it done in real life and I see the authenticity, I'm just so proud of you. That's the only thing you put in this show. I'm completely happy to say I put my hand up that I am very proud of you guys taking this on and giving women a voice.
Morgen. And you know what, Morgen? I never even thought about that. That is so
Neither
true.
did I. I'm going to start to cry. Do you want a hug? Thank you. I never thought about it that way, but
true.
yeah.
And you've seen it the other way. I mean, you've seen it when women can be anything but girls, and, supportive.
Yeah.
Well, they all say they are, but then when it's someone outpacing you in a certain way, you all of a sudden like cracks in that actual support. And you're like, oh, so you're okay with me as long as I'm below you.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, I've never thought of it that way, but Morgen, that's so right.
So for me, you're not really supporting me in my bag. Like you're supporting me as long as I'm that happened to me. That has happened to me 50 times. I literally have one best friend left.
Yeah.
Well, girl, come on over and hang out with us. We got your back. I always tease Becky. I like to be surrounded by women who are better than me, hence the two of you, because I think it makes me better.
Wait, what do they say? Iron sharpens iron.
I'm always trying to collect the ladies who are above me because I'm like, you make me better.
When one of us rises, all of us rise.
That's right.
That's right.
So your trajectory is here. It's going to bring me up.
Yes.
Just by virtue. But a lot of times, and I think it might just be primordial, meaning that, all the men would go to war and there would be like 2 men and a million women. And they were like, this race, we need to keep this like population growing.
Right.
So I've always said there's always enough. There's enough praise.
Yes.
There's enough pretty. There's enough money. There's enough men. There's enough accolades. There's enough fame. There's enough.
Good for you.
And we share it with each other and we build and give those seeds to the rest of the women around us. We also rise. And I have lived that way my entire life. I was the girl, French braiding, everybody's hair. I would get to school early because I was a gymnast and a cheerleader, all things that Erin-sized women should be, not Morgan-sized women. I always thought I was a petite flower. So I was 5'10" and size 12 feet. It was just not.
And I'm sure you were brilliant out there.
But I would go to work. I would go to school early and I would French braid everybody's hair.
Good for you.
And girls would be like, I'm going to give you money. And I'm like, no. I'm giving you $1.
So cute.
But I wanted everyone to look great when we had for cheerleading. I taught everybody how to be a cheerleader, to compete against me, be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
That's who I was. And I've been that way ever since. So it's all right. I've leaned in. I'm almost 61. I've leaned in.
No, we are going to get to how you are almost 61.
How is that
girl,
possible?
I met you almost a decade ago and you're getting younger every time I see you. But you know what you were just talking about? I remember feeling that way about you because I was a new host when Morgan arrived at our former network, Shop HQ. And we're going to get into your backstory, but she comes in and, you know, you do your research. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a professional model. She's an author. She's a makeup artist. I am from rural Wisconsin. But from the get-go, I had your very first show. I think it was 4 p.m. on an afternoon. I remember it was kind of like the prime. We were priming that hour for your big primetime launch with Lynn or Heather. Morgan, you were so kind and polite and sweet to me. And there's a lot of women in your position who would have looked at a new host and said, oh gosh, what am I getting into? And you took me like as an equal and were so fun and immediate girlfriend vibes and immediately kind and understanding. And so I felt what you were just talking about the first day we worked together. And especially in this industry, that's hard to come by.
Yes.
That is hard to come by.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I am a team player.
Yes.
Number one. And I always want every woman around me to rise as I just never, I don't have that gene. And it is a gene. Like we can see women who are like a little sharky and you're like, oh, you're going to be successful. I don't have that. I was just talking to Valerie. I don't know if you know, was it Valerie Stoop?
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
HSN, because HSN is now, moving to QVC.
Right. Yes.
And they're closing the Tampa location at the campus. And so I was just there yesterday and those were my last shows in Tampa. And I was so sad about it because that was my original. And the first full circle moment of it is kind of crazy because you're right. I started out as a model.
Yes.
I hated foundation. I have never changed. I hated foundation. I had the most beautiful skin when I came from California and I was first discovered as a model. And within weeks of just painting me with foundation, my skin was destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was never a supermodel. So nobody was getting blamed for my bad skin. I just was getting, people are like, well, we're paying you and you're supposed to have perfect hair, perfect skin, perfect nails, perfect everything because you're a catalog model. And I leaned in because I really didn't start full-time modeling in New York. I wasn't signed by Ford until I was 22 years old. So I missed a lot of that. Like that's a whole backstory that my daughters are like, how is this not a book? Like I've had like a Greek tragedy kind of life, which is hysterical for how joyous I wake up every single morning. It's kind of
Wait,
but,
we're here for all the details. So you let us know.
When did you start modeling?
Well, I was first discovered when I was 16 in a store in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh my God, like old school model discoveries.
Oh, yeah. I know, but it was even better because she was in charge of the Miss California pageant. So she was like, you have to be in the Miss California pageant. And the crazy part about it was one of my mom's best friends' husband had just left her for a woman who was in the Miss California pageant. Years ago. So I was just like, offended.
I don't want any part of it.
I'm not that type of woman. Excuse me.
Like very young to be so like damaged. What's going on? And so I said, no, thank you. I'm not I'm not a pageant girl. Not that I have anything to do with it, but it was just literally what was happening around me right then.
In your family. Yeah.
So she said, well, will you just do an ad for me? And in California, in Santa Barbara, there is a very prestigious photography college called the Brooks Institute. And the photographer who shot that photo was on his way to be a test photographer in New York. He had my photo in it. His and the agency that he was looking to do testing on girls was like, who's this girl? And he's like, oh, she's like a hick from, rural California.
She's not a pageant queen, that's for sure.
They called me, they flew me out there. I did some jobs in LA.
Okay.
So I worked with an agency in LA and I would do some jobs in LA. But for the most part, no, I went back to like teaching aerobics, working at a bakery, being oh my God, I've been a maid. I've been a caterer. I've been a waitress, a terrible waitress. But I think
Great personality.
What's that OPI color? I'm not really a waitress.
Like, you guys order?
Did you just get here?
I kind of kept doing what I was doing, and I called the agency back like 2 years later, and said, because I went to work for IBM. I was a computer science major, so I went to work and did an internship for IBM.
Smart and hot.
That I called the agency back and they were like, we're only giving you a one-way ticket this time.
You don't get to run away.
Girl, they were waiting for you. They were waiting for that call.
For me, I will tell you, I only lasted with that agency for a month because they were so mad. They thought I was the blonde Andie MacDowell in 1982.
Yes.
And then when I got there, they were like, you never went to Europe. You're never going to be a supermodel. They were like a little bitter. So I worked with another girl who was at Ford, and she was just like, if you just want to do catalogs, I want you to have lunch with Eileen Ford because she'll do it in a second. And so that's how I got to Ford. So I was with Ford for 25 years until Ford sold. Like Eileen, when I wrote my book, Eileen and her daughter Katie did the foreword for my book.
Wow.
Like I loved Ford models. They were my family. Because I moved to New York with three suitcases.
Oh my gosh.
But the agency I was with, and I won't say who they were, but the agency.
I'm dying to know though.
They're just so mad at me.
They're lost, girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even know if they're still, even, sorry. My
No,
phone.
we know the name. We know the answer to that. They're gone.
Wait a minute. You had lunch with Eileen Ford, and she's one of.
You don't understand.
She was your booker. Was she your booker?
She was the owner. She was not my booker. My booker's name was Patty. I had a lot of bookers, but Eileen and Katie were very supportive. They were supportive, but I was not the girl that they were doing the deals for. I was the girl who was making deals happen. And then they would be like, we will support you once I already made the deal. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
Yes.
Like, there are people that just step in shit. And you're like, how do you always fail up? How is you always fail up? I am my husband's nickname for me is Lotto Girl. And his other nickname for me is Not for Profit Morgan. So those two things always go hand in hand. Like I was a girl that so I became a makeup artist because I had such bad skin. So then I didn't want so the book I wrote.
Yes.
Is Your Makeover. I wrote this in 2000. It was the first book ever done that had no retouching. A beauty book with no retouching.
Yes.
And when I did this book, it was like when I got the book, like the whole thing is kind of like crazy.
Yeah.
I was modeling. I met Drew. I was moving back to California, and then I met a guy in New York. My mom was like, "No, you're finally moving home. Like there are plenty of men in California." Like, and I met Drew, and I never went back.
Yes.
And we've been together for 33 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Almost 26, but we were together a really long time because I never really thought I was going to stay in New York.
Right.
But anyway, so the whole thing, like I was going to finish modeling and go to law school. I wanted to be a prosecutor.
Yes.
I wanted to be a litigator. I can literally find a debate on like
Another reason we love you. Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Yeah, girl.
I want to know all the research and I want to know everything about it. And I want to be a critical thinker. Like that's literally every time I'm on TikTok or on Instagram. Be a critical thinker. Do not be sheep.
Yes.
Be the leader.
Good.
Whether you're or wrong. At least take a stand. Don't do what everybody else does. Just be an individual. It's just the most rewarding part of your life is that you made decisions on your own,
Yes.
not by what everybody else tells you what to do. Anyway,
Morgan, do you think that's kind of a Gen X thing though? Because in the previous generations, it's like following the flow of things. I feel like Gen Xers are really standalone. We're really unique individuals.
I'm like, who are you talking about? I'm a boomer.
Are you?
Well, she's 60, almost 61.
1964.
Is that the cutoff?
Boomer, yeah. Gen X, I didn't know if Gen X was you or like my daughter.
Girl, you're like 30, so she doesn't know. She doesn't know what a generation.
We're at a time warp.
No,
I'm a
it is.
skater.
I don't know if it's generational. I think it's social media that has so many people are afraid to
Yes.
even develop their own opinion, even over non-controversial opinions.
For canceling
People
or-
are afraid to have opinions
Yeah.
because no matter what opinion you have, people come for you. So I wonder if it's not generational. I think it's like where we're at in the world where people are afraid to even say what their favorite hair color is because you could get in trouble.
Somebody
or
in the comments will
what
have
your
something to say.
opinion is on the preschool down the street, you could get in trouble. It's just people have like, I don't know. But I agree with you. Those with opinions are the people I want to listen to, even if I
Yes.
disagree with them. Even if I disagree.
Here's what 60 does. I just posted this on TikTok the other day. You really don't care what anybody thinks.
Truly.
Like, I'm literally like, cancel me?
Like that's the scariest thing.
Fun with that because I get to be this person. I get to live this life.
Yes.
I get to have this energy and this joy every day. And you worrying about whether you're getting canceled or whether you can cancel me or whether I said something inappropriate that hurt your feelings. They called me bozo and water ski foot my entire life at school, my brothers and sisters. Like that is the one thing I do not understand is that I'm half Italian and half German. I got Italian derogatory remarks, German derogatory remarks, my feet, my butt, my height, I'm like, seriously? Are we allowed? Well, you guys, you got to be less sensitive.
Yeah.
You just got
Yeah.
because it's a tough world out there and you're missing really important things that are happening and you're caught up in whether I've got, I don't know, 3 earrings or 2 earrings or I'm wearing the right shade concealer. What?
Yeah.
I hear you.
You don't actually have enough trauma in your life. That's the problem.
Do you know what though? I think that's actually true. If you've never been through anything and you have that tissue paper skin, right? I mean, we have thick skin when you've been through some things.
We do. And what's so crazy is to hear you say, Morgan, that people had called you names and made fun of you because all I've ever seen from my end is people like, oh, she's amazing. So it's a reminder that everybody gets negative feedback.
Has been through it.
But if you surround yourself with the right people, which is one of the reasons Becky and I were so excited to start this podcast, is because we had this group of women on Saturday mornings who most of you now listen. And by the way, if you're listening to our podcast and you didn't watch us on Home Shopping, that's fine. You're still welcome here. But there's this really unique group of gals who I think are in line with you, Morgan, and in line with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Who are like, we don't care. We're just here to have a good time with our girlfriends and celebrate each other.
That's it.
And so for every person who's rude and mean like that, you have to go find specifically the women who aren't, because they are out there, but you got to find them and stick with them.
cheerleaders. Yeah.
Yes. And
You
it's,
have to constantly weed your garden.
yeah. Oh, that's a great way of saying it. Way faster than what I just did.
My father had a great quote that he taught me when I was 13 years old. So when I was 13 years old, this is like so funny. I lived in this like little ranch community and we were new because we moved from Orange County to this little town in middle California. I had met this girl and I was with her every single day and we spent the entire summer together when I moved there and it was her birthday. And so I made her I love to cook. I love to sew. I'm a quilter. I'm all those. And so I made this triple cake and my dad helped me drive it to her house because she said she was grounded on her birthday. And I found out the next day that she had a sleepover party
With other girls?
No, Morgan. No.
all the girls from the school, but she didn't invite me. And my dad said to me, It's the elevator theory of friendship. That she got on your elevator when you moved here, and now she needs to get off.
Yes.
You had a really great ride. So you went from shoes and gloves to linen. We went 3 floors and it was really fun. And now to protect yourself, and you can let her off the elevator. She needs to get off. And you can have people that were on your elevator at 1 and go up to 100, or they can go on 1, they can get off at 3, they can get back on 7, they can get on at 9. You have to think everything is, you're coming into my life for a reason. I need to protect myself, so you might have to get off my elevator now. Not saying you're not getting back on, not saying you might want to get off my elevator. I'm not going to take it personally if you want to get off for whatever reason. In the time we had in our elevator was amazing. And we are going to learn from that. And we are going to cherish that.
This is so
but
good.
We're not going to have that like, oh my gosh, people who abuse me, I have to stay with them forever because I've known them since I was 5. That's not like, I don't believe in unconditional love. My daughters will tell you. That's a problem. I'm like, of course I love you. I gave birth to you. Whatever.
Yes. They get the golden ticket through. Mm-hmm.
You abuse me?
Yeah. Right.
No.
Exactly.
You're not going to be in my life.
Exactly.
Morgan, you know what I'm loving about that too? You're in charge of how you think about it. It's not happening to you. You are opening the door for these people and letting them on and off. It's not like you're a victim of these circumstances. You're defining what it is for you. I love that.
I do too. But you know what I found as I am getting older and putting up boundaries? I've talked to Becky a lot about this behind the scenes. There's people in my life I've had to put boundaries out for. And it can be lonely at first. So I like your elevator analogy, because sometimes when you're doing the right thing for yourself, you can kind of isolate yourself. But if you think about it as an elevator, I know those doors will open back up for the right people to step into.
Yes.
And that feels so much better than feeling like you've just closed people off. They've just stepped off and you've made room for better.
Really great.
Better for you.
Erin, it makes you never feel lonely. I am alone a lot. I love being alone. And I never feel lonely.
That's awesome.
Because I also think that there is something to, I have a million euphemisms. I am self-watering.
Yes.
I tell people, be self-watering. Wake up joyous. But we don't have great days. We have great days. We have terrible days. We have terrible things happen to us in our lives. But joy is a choice.
Yes.
You can wake up. Happiness it goes up and down. It wanes to and fro. But joy is something that you can actually choose. And then when these terrible things or annoying things or challenging things happen to you, you have that underlying, I love who I am in this moment through these times.
Yes. Yes, girl.
Centered. And I don't know if that's I think I've always had that. So I don't know if that's like a 60s type of thing. But I know that, the elevator theory has helped me a million times.
I love it. We're going to start instilling that elevator theory, because that's really helpful.
Well, and if that elevator car is full and clogged up with people that don't belong there,
that's
there
right.
isn't room for the new,
that's
right.
New people to if it starts smelling funny, you got to boot a few. you got to boot a few out of there.
Air it out.
So
my dad used to say, if there's too many people in your elevator, you can't hear yourself.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. So listen, we'll get back into how you got into home shopping and everything. But I think a lot of people, Morgan, since we're getting into, getting older and finding, security and happiness and joy just within yourself. Mm-hmm. So I hear differing opinions all the time, and I'd love yours. Some women say, I'm getting older and it feels like there's nothing to look forward to. Why get dressed up in the morning? I have nowhere to go. Other women are getting older and saying, oh my gosh, I've never been so excited to, put on a cute outfit and go hit the town even by myself. Yeah. Where are you at, and what would you like women to know, especially as they start moving into late 50s, 60s, 70s even?
Look at you come to life, just her asking that. You just lit up.
Well, a woman wrote to us and said, I want to look cute, but I'm 58 and I don't even know what to do. And I want to say, girl, this is your time to go for it. And I feel like you are really walking that walk right now.
So yes, that's how I feel about it. I feel like, we always had that saying, fake it till you make it.
Yes.
It never stops.
Yeah.
If you feel good about yourself, meaning that if you look in the mirror, and I say this, obviously, I have a line on HSN,
Yes.
Active On.
Yes.
And I say this on air all the time, that if you look in the mirror and you see and recognize the girl you were, like we were all the girl we were, and it might have been awkward at that time or whatever was going through, your life when you were 25, 15, whatever. You were a girl before. I was a girl before I was a mom. I was a girl before I was a wife. I was a girl before I was a girlfriend. That girl I need to honor. So what does that mean to me? That means I need to make sure that I am eating the right food, right? Toxic environment. Like this is another total podcast about about the food industry. And, it's coming to light now, which is even more crazy because now it's become like political, which I don't understand at all, because we need real food. We need to I eat like I lived 100 years ago. I do not eat seed oils. I eat real food, real ice cream, real stuff that that doesn't have 15 chemicals in it. That is real. That is one of the things you can do to honor yourself. Getting exercise. If you're not exercising in some way, your body is diminishing and you're doing nothing to propel it forward. So I'm not saying every day you get up and you're like, oh, I'm not going to wear sweats and I'm going to put lipstick on. No, you're going to move your body and you're going to make clean choices in your food. That's it. It's so simple. So how do you honor yourself at 58? And all of those things, they propel each other. Aging will cascade. Propulsion makes you even better and better and better.
Ooh, that's good.
So you have to start. Yes. And I'm not saying, I say this to my mother. My mother is 90 years old. Yes. I'm like, Mom, start by walking to the mailbox. She was a horsewoman, so she has been thrown and rolled on and kicked sport that she ever loved. And now her body is her brain is on fire, but her body is beaten to shit.
I bet.
I just want you to lift your leg in the morning and then let it down and then make sure, like little tiny little baby steps, they propel you to the next step and the next step. And then the next step is that you're getting up and you're not putting your sweats on and you're getting up and you're making a plan to go to, join a garden club or join something. I'm learning to garden and I never knew. I mean, I grew up gardening. I grew up composting. I grew up growing our own food. And then I moved to New York, which was a complete concrete jungle.
Right.
So we have another place where I am learning how to garden and grow things. And it's keeping my brain, excited. And those are all things. So it's not just about do you care about your skincare? It's, do you care about every cell in your body propelling forward? Terrific. Because 58 could be a completely unhealthy, horrible, cascading aging event, or 58 can be the most exciting, vibrant time of your life.
Yes, exactly.
That is so encouraging.
Yeah. And it does come down to choices. Yeah. And it does come down, me and my girlfriends always say, get yourself involved. It does come down, get yourself involved. You know, if you feel like you're an outsider or feel like you don't have something to do, like you were saying, join a gardening club. Go get yourself involved in something.
I like that, staying curious, trying something new, that's even that. And the other thing, Morgan, taking care of that little girl, if you are all maternal and maybe we didn't have the youth that we wanted, we can kind of go back and take care of her.
To that little girl.
That's so sweet to think of.
Before I say that to I have to honor Morgan as a girl.
Yes.
I'm not going to be as good as a mom if I don't honor the girl I was. And I want them to honor the girls they are. Yeah. Don't think that you have to grow up so fast. Don't think that you have to do what everybody else does. Honor the girl you were.
Yeah.
And then everything else kind of grows from that. And then, I don't know, there's just something very centering about like doing things like I love to read and I love everything goddess. I believe we are all goddesses, whether that's woohoo or not. But before Christianity, the women were the vessels and the givers of life.
Yes.
Okay?
That's right, girl.
Like, read yourself some like Mists of Avalon and you will higher thought process with women.
I've always identified as a goddess, so this is good. This is great. So
you're in the thick of it with kids still. Like I have older daughters now.
I know.
And I said to them when they were little, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then you guys are going to like take over the show. But I said to my daughters, I'm the Nanny McPhee of moms.
Yes.
When you need me, but you don't want me, I'm going to be there.
Yeah. Good for you.
And when you want me, but you don't need me anymore, you have to let me go. Because that means I did my job correctly. If you are having a thriving life on your own, then we can be friends.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to raise you as my friend. I'm supposed to raise you so you no longer need me.
That's right.
Then we can circle back to friendship if I like you.
This is where the unconditional part fits in. We'll see how you do.
We'll just do Christmas once a year.
I am best friends with both my daughters.
How old are your girls now?
21 and 23.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's amazing.
So proud of them.
Have you loved every stage, one after the next?
I loved every stage, every single stage. And I've been in it with the sports and the club volleyball and all of that. And, looking at colleges together and doing all that. It was just, I have whenever my day is over, I have had the most amazing life. Like,
I love hearing that.
We should all be so lucky to say that.
We're both boy moms. Becky's boys are in their 20s. Both of her boys are in their 20s.
How old are your kids? Your boys?
So my boys are 25 and 27.
Yes. And then
I'm just right behind.
No, and then mine are the teenagers. So we go 40s, 50s, 60s, and then I'm 10 years behind Becky. But I got to tell you something, Morgan, after talking to you, I can't think of a better girl mom. I want all of our girls raised by what we just heard.
Let's
right
raise
there.
some goddesses.
Like we need more goddesses. I sometimes get afraid of teenage girls.
Because we only have boys. Yeah. It's kind of foreign to us.
Yes. And, if you don't have a strong, mom leading the charge and teaching them the right ways of the world, it can be a tough time to be a teenager of any sort,
right, or
young 20s, especially girls. But congratulations on raising such wonderful women. So I've got to talk to you though about
boys. I think it's harder there. I actually think it's harder to raise boys.
Do you really?
Absolutely. I think that there's so many mixed messages about boys being like, are they supposed to be like that whole toxic masculinity thing?
Totally.
And I feel that same way. Like I raised my daughters with a man, right? My husband. And I used to say to my husband, my daughters have to have full agency over everything, not just how they think, not just their education, not their sports, but also their bodies and their sexuality and sensuality. But we also had to talk about the fact that our social mores are different.
Yeah.
They're not the same. You can date around if you're a guy, but the social mores of a girl dating around is still negative.
Yeah, totally is.
I wanted my daughters to feel agency over their own bodies and never feel shame. You cannot feel shame. But also know that our society isn't there yet. Mm-hmm. And also, the best line ever in Clueless.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know that movie, but
yes, love it.
They were talking about like promiscuity.
Yeah.
And she said, why would I like date around like that? You know how picky I am about my shoes.
Yeah.
And go on my feet.
And all of a sudden now you're gonna
ew.
I literally told that to my daughters when they were little. They were like, I'm like, I want you to see this line again. Go ahead. You know what she's saying? She's saying that she's like about her shoes and they only go on her feet. Well, think about what it is now, right?
Exactly. If you're protecting the feet that way, you better protect the whole body that way.
That is hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
The whole thing about women fall in love with their, women fall in love with their heads, their hearts, and their bodies.
Yes.
Well, all of those are just as important factors.
Yeah.
Because it's all one thing, and you don't. One of them, you when you give up your body, you're giving up your heart and your head too. So you have to be very, very conscious of that.
You're betraying parts of you.
Where were you for me in 1997?
I always had this. I don't know.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a wisdom, but that is an ingrained, I mean, that's part of your DNA. You can tell.
It is. So, oh my gosh, we need to have like 6 episodes with you, Morgan. You guys don't forget, Isomers is now partnering with So Happy You're Here podcast to give you an exclusive 20% off your order. You go to isomers.ca. You'll get 20% off your order. If you're at $100 or more, they'll ship it to you for free directly to your house. It's an exclusive savings just for all of you listening. If you haven't been introduced to Isomers before, they are the best cosmetic chemists in the world. Scientifically proven results for over 30 years. If you don't know where to start, there's an easy quiz to take at isomers.ca. Or if you just want to go for their icons, their hyaluronic acid, their fast lift eye serum, their copper P, it's all available and it's exclusively for you with Happy20 to get that 20% off your order. Let's do this. Let's get into, because listen, a model and a very successful model, and then a makeup artist, and then you're writing books, and then you end up on HSN. And you had a wildly successful career at HSN. So how did you make the move from model, makeup artist, author? Now you're living full time in New York City.
And what season of life is that for you?
Yeah, like how did you fit this all in?
So I modeled, everything kind of overlapped. So I was modeling, and then I was starting to do makeup on myself because it was so bad. And I would fib and say that I had a casting before I'd go to a job because I wanted to do my makeup before.
Oh,
so
good for
I didn't want makeup
you.
artists to be, I was very cognizant of those are the artists and I'm just a model. So I would be like, oh, I had a casting before, or, I was meeting somebody for coffee before. So my makeup's already done. If you want to like touch it up, you can. And then I would keep my skin from looking horrible. I was getting facials every 3 weeks. It was crazy trying to keep myself at that level. Like I learned how to be self-watering, right? Yeah. I knew how to do my own nails, my own hair. I would work in Morocco for a month and be able to color my own hair, do my own nails, French manicure. Like I would use tea bags and then glue them to keep them strong. Like I had all of that down pat. My job was to always control what I could control. But if you just hated like my look, I couldn't control that.
Yeah.
But if you did hire me, I was going to make you think I was the best hire you ever made.
Amen, sister.
I worked for Spiegel for 15 years. They at one point asked me to wear a dark wig because they were like, we want to book you, but we have to change up
the Spiegel catalog. That was that was like a Bible in rural Wisconsin. I mean, that would arrive and that was it. Oh my gosh, Morgan. That's amazing.
I'm like, your grandmother would recognize me.
Oh my, I would recognize you because I would page through those and look. I was probably fangirling over you way back when because I would page through and look at the...
But back in the day, that was the high-paying job.
Yes, it was.
Some of that other stuff that looked more glamorous did not pay like the Spiegel catalog.
I wasn't interested in that. I would do editorial only to try to lift my catalog day rate. And I knew how the math worked. And then I knew that they would bring in a blonde for 3 to 5 days. I wanted them to bring me in for 5 days. I wanted them to one that they never even thought about like who was one of their blondes going to be. Yes. I wanted it to be me. And then when I got the Neiman Marcus catalog, which was kind of like the creme de la creme, and I got a contract with them, that was the biggest money catalog day rate I ever got, other than like the Avon campaign or whatever it is I got. So I was doing my makeup myself. I started doing all my own comp cards, and in modeling, that's kind of like your calling card. So people would either book you from that, or they would see you first and then want to see you live in person from that. And a lot of the times those were all retouched. So when you would get to the casting, they'd be like, when do you ever look like this? Like, what? So I wanted my comp cards to be unretouched so you could see what you were getting.
Nice.
And other models on the Ford board saw my composites and were like, who did Morgan's photography? Who did her makeup? So Bill Westmoreland, who is the photographer of my book, is one of the greatest makeup artists in New York City. But he, like I was a makeup artist on the side, he was a photographer on the side.
Nice.
So when I started doing makeup, he started doing my photography.
Great.
So, and then all of a sudden, people were asking us to do their makeup and their photography with Bill so they could get their comp cards. It just snowballed. Then these girls started getting married and they asked me to do their makeup for their wedding. Then Town and Country sees me and they're like, you look like a model, but you're a makeup artist. Can we do it behind the scenes? Then I do someone else's, and the E channel, it's some celebrity, and the E channel is filming it. And they're like, oh my gosh, you look like a model. I'm like, I am a model. I'm really. So that's what happened.
It's amazing.
I did an E channel show where I used Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage when it first came out.
Yes.
I worked with her as a model, but I was using this as a makeup artist. I did a makeover show on a stripper with just concealer. She had super multed, modeled, spotty skin, and I covered it with the Secret Camouflage on air. It sold out everywhere. It crashed their phone line, and it crashed the Baume Mercier watch line.
Oh, because you were wearing.
No, they just thought that it was the same.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Oh, because the names were so.
Yes.
So on the chrono, you know how everything has a chrono.
Yeah.
They Morgen Schick model / makeup artist Ford models.
Okay.
So Ford starts getting phone calls like, we want this girl to do makeup. And they were like, she's a model. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, this is you making your own magic, making your own deals. So
well, no,
good.
I never thought anyone would call. I never thought anyone would see it.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
a model. I wasn't telling makeup artists that I was a makeup artist.
Right,
I
right.
didn't want to step on their feet. I didn't want them to think that me as a lowly model could become a makeup artist.
Yeah.
I wasn't a trained makeup artist. I was a service provider. I was like, I'm going to make you look really good. I'm very good at figuring out the millimeters of how to optimize somebody's features.
Yes.
I know how I know how the eye scans. I know what features we can make pop, what features that we can like kind of diminish a little bit if it's off balance. I know how to like fix all that. I do it as soon as I see someone. As soon as I see someone, I know what I would do on my own.
Morgan, I've watched you do this, and this is what I don't think people understand. Yes, you do that, and you do it with the tiniest bit of makeup. I have never seen a transformation. So, because now you see these young girls, you know, like the Kardashians, and they're using 17 layers and this much foundation, and you see those viral, like, Morgan would use like a pinky of something and transform a face, because you had to have been the first to do minimal makeup as well, like that, right? Because nobody uses that little of makeup and has that big of transformation.
I agree with that. I will take that.
100%.
I want it. My goal was to always look like you weren't trying hard.
Yes.
Like the goal is to like, if you can see like Skeletor contouring,
Right.
like the eyebrows and these lashes that just look like a caterpillar, you already lost the game.
Yeah.
You're already telling me that you're insecure about something.
Yeah.
If your lips are filled to like balloons, I know you thought you had small lips.
Yep.
Like my job as your kind of optimizer, and that
That's a good word.
That's a great
do an
word.
announcement on your show today that you guys don't even know you're doing.
The optimizer.
But my job is to highlight the features that you never even knew you had.
Yes.
My job, and to make it look like you just woke up, and to look like you're not trying hard, because that's where your real beauty shines through. If you're showing me that you're insecure about something, you've already lost the game.
Yeah.
So true.
And because you're looking in the mirror and you're not seeing the real version of yourself.
Yes.
I optimize by millimeters the real version of you.
So good.
And barely even knew it happened.
Yes.
So I will give you guys fresh tea that I have had so many women ask me over TikTok, over Instagram, you know, throughout my career how I can do it just for them. And now I am going to give myself an availability of where I consult via Zoom, and I can either build your wardrobe of makeup. I don't make makeup anymore, which is by design because I love so many people's makeup and I want to support other brands, and especially female-owned brands. So I am going to, it's almost done. It's not done yet. I'm still fine tuning how many days, how many hours, how much I think it would take to not just, so you said you had that 58-year-old woman who just did not ever start.
Yes.
I am going to be her advocate. I am going to be available for consultations in any way, shape, or form. So I need to know, where do I go? I'm perimenopause. Do I go for a hormone panel like you were talking about, Kathy Norton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a whole menopause story. I went through menopause at 43 years old.
Wow.
Really?
That's
2 years
early.
after my second daughter. I had my second daughter at 40. So 2.5
Wow.
years later. My grandmother went through at 34. So she had to have actual shots. So it was
Yes.
a more dramatic. See, everybody, perspective is everything, right?
Yes, because listen, somebody would lay eyes on you, never think you were 60, and definitely think that you still had the monthly flow.
Yeah.
I mean, they would, right?
And then I got caught up in the healthcare drama, because remember all the studies that they now know about that were flawed about hormone replacement.
Yes.
You guys are the benefactors of the fact that those studies are flawed, and now they know that you can use estradiol and testosterone and an ingestible progesterone to mitigate those symptoms.
Yes.
So I went through it. I was getting hormone replacement because I had hundreds of hot flashes. Erin, I've been on TV with you when I went through this, where I would have to take my clothes off.
Yes.
So,
I did see you stripped down a few times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so my doctor, I had a functional medicine. He said, you have to go and get another mammogram. I got another mammogram and I had one 6 months earlier that did not come out clean.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had 2 lumpectomies. And after the 2 lumpectomies, they said, you cannot go on hormone replacement. I gained 20 pounds. I had foggy head like you could not believe.
Yeah.
And I had hundreds of hot flashes. So I did that for 8 years until the day was that it was 103 degrees in New York. And I thought about jumping in front of a taxi as I was having.
Oh,
You're just miserable.
oh,
This is not the life I want to lead.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw the dice and try to do hormone replacement, even though everyone says that I am signing my own death warrant. And then I went through it. I did it. I went to another functional medicine doctor. I got the prescription and I did 1/3 of what he recommended just to get myself out of those symptoms.
nice.
So if you are a woman out there and you have foggy brain, you don't sleep at night, you have night terrors, night flashes, night sweats, you're gaining weight around your middle and you cannot figure out why, you're doing exactly the same diet you've had your own life. Yeah. You feel like, I tell this to my daughters, as a woman, your body betrays you 3 times. When you get through, go through puberty, you're like, I was a kid and all of a sudden I'm not, and I don't know what I'm feeling. And this is awful. And my body's changing. You do that birth, but it's a glorious thing. So you get over it because you're like, I'm growing this beautiful person in my body. And then menopause. Yeah. Menopause is the biggest betrayal because you've had all this time to figure out what works for you and it goes sideways.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Symptom mitigation, and I'm not a doctor, but I will tell you as someone who's been through all of it, that symptom mitigation is the most important part. And if you can, and you still have your cycle, get yourself a baseline blood panel.
I wished I'd had that. Yeah.
Estrogen and your estradiol and your progesterone and your testosterone in it. Because then when you are fluctuating, they know where to, even if you're doing it naturally with just cruciferous vegetables, you can build that, or lifting weights. You can start to build more testosterone if you're lifting weights. You know what your baseline is at your peak.
Yeah.
That's good.
For people who are your age or not, or not fully menopausal yet.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you ready for people to start contacting you about this concierge service or not yet?
Not yet. My
Okay.
website, we're redoing my website right now, and I'm trying to figure out, like, everybody's like, oh, I need 2 hours with you. And I have to kind of fine tune. I want to do it available, because I want to be available just because now the technology is met up. I used to say that I would stop people in the mall.
Yeah.
I still do that.
Yes.
Okay, no, we need a side part, and I'll tell you why. All deep set eyes, like, you will never see me with a side part. And the reason is because I have small, deep set eyes. So if I do a side part, your brain is going to look straight down the middle, and you're going to see that my eyes are too close together for the size of my nose and my cheeks. Like, I know how to trick the eye and just get the eye to scan you in the most favorable light,
Yes.
you yourself and everyone else.
Nice.
I know how to teach you to take a picture. I know how to teach you to, like, what clothes work good on different body types.
Yes.
So I've got to figure out, and I don't want this to be crazy expensive, but I also need to, like, be able to manage my day.
Well, and not for profit, Morgan. We got to change that.
Pro bono Morgan.
My husband is just like, what are you doing now? Wait, are you ever going to do something that actually, like, because
Well, Morgan, I have a question. So this might be for free too. If you had to do maybe 3 beauty items that, like, holy grail must have, of course, active argan, but, like, I found a Bobbi Brown. She has her Jones Road now. It's just this really nice, sheer,
Like
pretty
balm.
Yeah. Do you have any everyday, just a few that are, like, must have items that you would encourage every woman to have?
And do you have a dupe for the hide and highlight? Because I haven't been able to find anything, babe, and I stockpiled that.
I still have that. Well, you and me and the vitamin C cream too, right? I still have that.
Sorry,
Are you hoarding it?
I know I stepped in on Becky's question, but I want you to add that in because Morgan made this thing called Hide and Highlight.
Yeah.
And it was infused with her active argan oil. And it was literally a tiny little palette this big that you could do her magic with.
Do you apply it just with your ring finger? Do you just stop?
Consistencies in 3 colors. So, I mean, this is just too long.
Okay, yeah,
but
answer Becky's. But anyway, I need a new Hide and Highlight, honey.
you want pure pigment in all of your makeup. So that's why when she says I can use a tiny bit of something to make a lot of magic happen, is because I took all the fillers out of makeup. Makeup is dirt, but you can use dirt that is like cheap dirt, which is fillers and micas and stuff like that, or you can use the actual pigment, which is what's going to evoke change or brighten up or do coverage, whichever you need. So I did a palette called Hide and Highlight that was all pure pigmented. So that's what, yeah, Erin, I can hook a sister up for that.
God, I love you so much. It was the best.
Becky, I would say the most important thing is for you to figure out how to balance your skin and keep it hydrated and stop over processing it. So before makeup should be optional because skin care is mandatory. It doesn't have to be active argan or any other product. I don't use anything else because I understand this molecule and the molecular weight of product to be able to hold moisture in your skin. But for anyone else, I would say figure out how to keep your skin calm. We were not born with combination skin.
Yeah.
We usually disturb a good thing because it's sold that something should be a certain way, and then they destroy it, and then they hope you buy something to build it back.
Right.
Which is like those, which is like those Stridex pads and stuff like that.
Oh my God, Morgan, we were raised on sea breeze.
Oh my God. Getting my mother off Seabreeze was like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
It was crack for your skin. It was
from the barn, and she would just, and when I understood what pH and microbiome and moisture barrier were, I was just like, Mom, you got to stop with the Seabreeze. You're just like
it.
Yeah.
destroying your microbiome. But so a calmness. How do you get that calmness? I think the first free thing you can do is stop washing your face in the morning. Only clean your skin at night. When you clean your skin at night, you are then putting on usually serums or whatever, your vitamin C's or whatever it is, even if you're just putting on a moisturizer, you are using that night where your skin is renewing, refreshing. It is reviving every cell in your body, because that's the only time your body can do ancillary things like that.
Right.
When you're awake during the day, it's trying to keep you alive and
Yes.
Kind of busy.
it can work on all those ancillary little things like renewal of skin and balancing the pH. So in the morning, you weren't digging ditches. So just rinse well, because you just fixed your pH, microbiome, and moisture barrier all night long.
Yeah.
Why would you disturb it again?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So the first thing I tell every woman is stop washing your face in the morning. The second thing is never use a phosphate or a sulfate cleanser, because you're already destroying your pH and your moisture barrier right there. Right. Sulfates or SLSs, if you turn it over and it says sodium sulfate or any SLS,
pitch it.
You're not going to use it. Usually if it foams. If it foams, it's not doing you any favors. We grew up on our skin is supposed to be squeaky clean.
That's right.
And hair, do you remember that?
Yep.
That was even advertised.
Not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing I can tell you guys about that is coming out soon, is that we kind of how we always made fun of like Europeans that they don't shower.
Yes. No.
Actually, we're smarter because their microbiomes are just so much stronger and their moisture barriers are so much. That's why they look younger than we did.
Yes.
Like French. Because they clean the areas. They grew up with bidets, right? So they go to the bathroom and they clean themselves. I know this is like way too much information. So, I was a mom who used to use wipes constantly.
Yes.
Wipes for everything. If we were at a volleyball tournament, someone would have a spill. They'd be like, Morgan's got a wipey. Yeah. I had 100 wipes. Then with my little kids, wipes became flushable. Well, then I had a $2,500 clog in my plumbing in New York in our main line because it was full of wipes. Because wipes are full of plastic. And I didn't know that. So I invented a product called Sanny Fanny.
Cute.
Because for two reasons. Number one, I think it's disgusting that we just use toilet paper. Especially kids who never really get clean.
No.
And older people or babies who are now wiping them with wipes are full of microplastics.
Yes.
So you've got a gentle, vulnerable area and you're wiping it with plastic and toxic ingredients, and it's going right into your body because this is your largest organ. So I did a completely natural, made in Italy. I used the same lab that made active argon, and I asked they would make a product for me called Sanny Fanny, and it's spray. And the way it works on toilet paper is you can use the cheapest. I prefer bamboo toilet paper that's unbleached. You can use the cheapest toilet paper. You spray it. It turns it into, for a few, like 45 seconds, a beautiful, soft, hydrating washcloth.
Oh my God.
Brilliant.
Toilet paper.
Yes.
So we're launching that soon. I literally made them for me to hoard.
Yes.
And everyone who has been in our bathroom, the labs in Italy now have it in all their bathrooms.
Yes.
Have said you have to sell it. So I got a pallet of 3,000 of them for myself.
Good for you.
And now my daughter and her boyfriend are like, this summer we want to sell Sanny Fanny because all our friends want it.
Yes.
And so I said, okay, I will. I'm keeping like 200 of them without it. It's like my hide and highlight.
Yes.
So I'm an inventor that tries to solve problems that don't compromise your body, your health, your immune system, or our planet. Because wipes, not only do they clog up the sewer system, there was a 40-foot fatberg wipey grease ball
It's
in
like
the
an iceberg
sewer system.
Yeah.
Completely shut down the London sewer system. They had to break it apart.
Yep.
When they finally get into the water table, they sink to the bottom. They never disintegrate.
Gross.
They suffocate the ocean and riverways. And then there's no plant life. And then there's no.
It's terrible. It's
So at the
terrible.
very least, they're not flushable. We shouldn't
No.
even have them at all.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, the microplastics.
I'm going to send you the little commercial that I
So cute.
I did with my daughter because I was just like totally not flushable wipes.
So on our to-do list, we need to let the ladies listening know when you're live and ready for consultation and when everybody
Sandy
can have a
Fanny.
Sandy Fanny. We need those
you
are
guys
two
are really, like,
follow-ups.
breaking news.
I
for,
know.
like,
All the tea today,
I
Morgan.
just
Thank you.
finished the second book, and my second book is the Ageless Bible. And
Girl,
it's-
I need to read it front to back. Tell us everything.
Well, I basically just did. This was the longest. We're like,
When does
totally
that?
checked out.
No,
Let me
I'm want more.
take notes.
When does the second book come out?
When I finish it.
Okay. Okay.
Thing. Here's the thing. It's because of the hormone thing. It's just this moving
Sure.
and because of the food thing. And then I was writing all this food stuff. And then all of a sudden it became like a political thing. And I was like, I'm not political, but wow, isn't it cool that we might like be taking, we would make red dye is not the thing though. Red dye is not the thing. I mean, you guys live in Minnesota, so you have a lot of green, like literally you have glyphosate in your air all the time.
Yeah.
And it is so bad for you. So a lot of the hormone disruptors, a lot of the, and it's not that I'm anti-science or anti-chemical. I'm chill on your profit for a second because you're killing people.
Yes. Yes.
I like greed. I like capitalism. I love all that. But when you are starting to not see people as lives that are destroyed for generations because of your, profit margin, you have a problem.
We've lost the script. Yeah.
I agree.
Lost the plot.
No, I agree with that. And in fact, this is too dark for this podcast, but I will mention there is, I'm almost seeing trend is the wrong word.
The cancer.
Of cancer in this area.
Yeah.
And I literally just said to my friend the other day, I said, there has to be something environmentally going on because there is no way so many different people from so many different age groups, age brackets, and like background, if you will, all live in this 50-mile radius and are getting the same type of bizarre cancer. Yeah. Like it's scary, but I'm happy that it's now on the table, that people are talking about it and recognizing that it's more than what people have taught us.
You will be gaslit. You will be gaslit
Yes.
because multiple factors.
Yes.
And the saddest part for me is that as I go down these rabbit holes, you're called derogatory names when you're literally just asking questions.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going to be the girl that will allow myself to be a target at some point. I don't know when I start to just really hone in on who I think the bad actors are.
Yeah.
Trust me, I think throughout history, there are lots of them.
Yes.
That always decided that their money, their power were more important than humanity.
Oh, I hate that.
I think that's the through line of everything I've done, everything I will ever do, is that my goal is that your life works out better than mine. Oh. And that is like you having a thriving life, Becky, and your kids and your husband and your mother and that is my goal. But unfortunately, we are a people that think that we're instilling these people around us that are going to take care of us. And it is a very sad, but it's a very important truth that have to be our own advocates. Everything you think about, you need to know the motive behind it. Everything. If that's the last thing you hear from me.
Yeah. Know
the motive.
Yes.
Someone is telling you something. Are they making money off it? Are they becoming more powerful over it? It's not that you don't hate. You're going to hate it. You're going to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Knowledge is power.
Second.
We can't outsource our own knowledge.
No, Becky and I asked a lot of questions at our former network, and that didn't go well.
Didn't go very big.
Didn't go well. But you know what? I stand by those questions.
I loved being on Shop HQ. Remember, QVC came to me first. You don't know this, but QVC came to me first.
I didn't know that.
Well, the fast part in this edit's going to be so bad, but I did that show where I was using Laura Mercier. Their PR company called forward, and I became the spokesperson for Laura Mercier for 3 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was
my
the person for all low-end TV and press.
Get it,
Like,
girl.
like Laura only wants to do Oprah, Madonna, and CNN if they, do it. I'm like, totally great. She has a very thick accent. She doesn't like being on TV. So will you do all the personal appearances and TV for her? So I did Maury Povich. I did Live at 5. I did all of the all of that kind of stuff as a model, but as also as a makeup artist and the national spokesperson for Laura Mercier. That's how I got my book deal. An editor, a book agent saw me on Maury Povich doing 5-minute makeovers and said, you got to write a book. And then I wrote a book, and this is Rizzoli. You can get it on Amazon for like $3.
It's amazing.
It's actually a great book.
It is.
For every age. But then Neiman Marcus bought Laura Mercier. So the owners of the owners asked me to do my own line. And I was like, I'm doing more. Those ladies don't need a $30 powder.
Yeah.
They need not cheap, but well-made, a curated line that they can figure, they can get out the door and go to get on with their lives. So I said no to that. And then QVC came to me, but QVC wouldn't give me control of my ingredients. So right after that disclosure contract, HSN called me. And they flew up here, and they flew to New York, and they took me out to lunch, and they said, you can have control over your ingredients. You can be a part. And I was on HSN 3 months later. That's the whole story.
And that was your model secret collection, right?
My perfect face kit, which had the original hide and highlight, the lip stain. Oh, Becky, back to your tangent.
Oh, yes.
Get your skin balanced. Don't use a sulfate cleanser. And the third thing, get the lip stain. It's from Palladio. It's $5 on Amazon, or you can get it at Beauty. They have a lip stain that doesn't have toxins in it, and get the nude and just outline the outside, not your lip.
Just that little ridge.
Vermilion.
Yeah. So what you do is you kind of tilt your head, and you can see I have a ridge.
Look at that.
So you have the color line of your lip. Yeah. And then you have the actual fold, the ridge of your lip. So you're going above that ridge, and then you blend it out. And it becomes this beautiful contour that makes your lip a millimeter or two bigger all the way around. And it just gives your whole face this crazy, beautiful balance.
What's it called? Palladia?
Yeah.
Palladio.
Looking it up right now.
Palladio.
I don't work for them, but they're very nice.
You're always dishing secrets without an actual ad, and I love that so much. So you get down to HSN. When you get down to HSN, you have your entire collection, and that was #1 for like a decade, right? Do I have those facts right?
I did well there. And then, you know this. You guys had, 3 presidents in 6 months?
Oh, girl, you know it. Yes.
HSN had several presidents, and one of them came in who had come from retail. And so I was doing really well. And then so she did a deal with Sephora, and she wanted me to go into Sephora. And she was like, here's the thing. We are going to build you. I was exclusive to HSN. So I would be HSN for a week at the time. You would be on many more days. And I would go to Canada, and I would be on the shopping channel for a week.
Wow.
And I had 2 little girls.
Wow.
So that was really hard
to
be away so much. And I was like, I don't see any women who have happy marriages, happy children, that get to that level. There's always, you've said it, Erin, you can have it all. You just can't have it all at once.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Something is always missing.
That's right.
Always.
That's right.
So my husband said, if you want, don't sign your contract. Don't, just quit. I quit.
So he was supportive of you.
Wait, he's supportive and so much on the table. That's another thing. To turn all of that down is really difficult. It's really difficult.
Back to Active Argon.
Yes.
Story behind that too, because I ran out of my products because we were hoarding them mall, right? I ran out of the facial. My best friend, who doesn't believe in birthdays, says you have to split your last 4-layer facial with me for my birthday. I love you.
Prove your love. Prove your love.
Yes. Or get off the elevator.
Veronica Beard, you know that brand?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's her bestie.
Veronica.
Oh my gosh.
Best jeans in town.
Which Veronica?
Building that brand out.
Veronica.
The brunette, who used to be a blonde, but I made her over as a brunette because she has the most beautiful brown hair I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, why are you highlighting your hair? You have the most gorgeous chocolate brown hair I've ever seen. And I will see your features better. And she was obsessed with Cindy Crawford. And I was like, dude, I can make you Cindy Crawford.
Yeah,
This is
girl.
easy.
And she's got the best jeans in the whole entire world, like literal denim jeans. They are the best fitting jeans ever.
Jeans. I was wearing them yesterday and on flying home. So she wanted me to just make the 5-minute facial and the hide and highlight and sell them in her stores as she was selling stores. And so I went back to my old partners and I was like, I just want you to know I'm going to make this product at I have a really good friend who's Peter Thomas Roth.
Yes.
And so I was going to use Peter's lab to make my 4-layer facial and make my hide and highlight so Veronica could sell them in their lab. And then my old partner came to me and said, I want you to try this ingredient. It's called activated argon. It was before the name was all settled and everything. And I was like, wait, I don't like oil. No, my skin is too sensitive. And he's like, try it for 24 hours and then get back to me. I tried it for 24 hours and I was like, I need this ingredient in everything I ever made. I need this ingredient. I need to know. I need to talk to the chemist. Who invented this? Who has the patent? How do I get this in my yogurt? What? Changed my skin overnight.
Yeah.
Legitimately changed my skin. So we made a deal. I got to make all my old products with this ingredient with their lab in Italy. And I didn't have to put my name on it. Those were the two things. I wanted their ingredient and I don't want my name on a product ever again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's smart.
I am a vehicle for you.
Yeah.
Active Argon is yours.
Yeah.
When I teach you something, it's Becky's, it's Erin's, it's not mine.
Yeah.
I am only here as a vessel for you to be your best self.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Active Argon line. So there was already an argon line on HSN with Adrienne. She had her own argon. There was already one on HSN. So we went to Shop HQ, which from the day I got there, I loved it so
I know.
Everyone says that.
I know.
Oh.
It was a magical place.
You guys you are brand builders.
Yes.
Really were brand builders. You would took the time. We did hour-long shows. I would have 6 hours of shows in a day. And we really kind of tooled it and workshopped. What does she need to hear? What does she think? What are her questions? Where is she missing the link? Because my product is super sciencey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have time, you're like, wait, that girl, Active Argon, I don't understand. Argan oil, what? So there's the fact that and we were really successful.
Yes. Very successful. Very, very, very.
And then we went to HSN. And so I was on Skype for HSN.
Yep. It was a big loss for us because I love, thank you for bringing up the brand building thing, because I really am proud of the way that team, especially in the 2015, 16, 17 era, was able to build brands. But it was also you leaving felt like a friend leaving. We weren't just losing brands.
I was devastated.
It was really sad because there was such a familial camaraderie in that building, especially Morgan when you were there. I mean, it was really magic, don't you think?
It's really magic. I'm not kidding. I will never have that experience again. And I am an advocate of this shopping channel platform. And I am on record saying, I think it's a big problem, that thinking that it's all going to go to TikTok and Instagram. That's the Wild West. You guys need to understand, and I say this on my own platforms all the time. You need to understand how much work goes into you understanding why a founder made a product. Mm-hmm. Most of us are inventors. Mm-hmm. Why we made it, how we made it, how do you use it, what it's going to do for you. and we're responsible for your results, not just because we have a 30-day return policy, but because we're over the airwaves. So it's the FTC. So our before and afters have to be legally verified.
Exactly.
Our claims have to be justified and verified. And we can't take copywritten and fake a product.
Yeah.
Like you can completely steal a curling iron and have it made in China and say that it's the original curling iron or the shirt. I bought my husband a zip up thinking that it was the zip up. It wasn't even that much cheaper. And I got to get it back. I'm like, oh my God, this thing
Just
is
junk.
Yeah. Yes.
Send it back.
Yeah.
It's the
There's
Wild
nowhere
West.
to go. Yes. Yeah. It's so funny, Morgan. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry. We cut out for a second. Go. You're our guest.
Thinking that a bunch of influencers in their bathroom are going to understand how to use it, why to use it, why it was made, and then have all those guarantees on the back end.
Right.
It's just delusional. So I believe this is not, this is the OG of that. And I believe there's still so much, like you can kind of enhance that experience, but thinking that you're going to just dismantle all these live shopping is a terrible.
I want to high five you.
Yeah,
right now
I do
for
too.
saying
I want to
that.
high five and
I'll
hug you.
high-five
Yep, together.
That is, you know what's so true though? Even just your passion, you can't mimic that as an influencer that will sell anything for anybody. Like your passion, your storytelling, like you just said, how do I tweak the story so I really connect with her? Like that's the depth of what home shopping does.
Well, and listen, especially when you started at HSN, you're the original influencers.
Yes.
And you're the original video sales. And actually video sales is not dying. Video sales is growing. And to your point, doing it the right way and maybe making some smart evolution and changes on air is the right thing to do. But people,
in addition to, not instead.
People think what Morgan's been doing since the 90s is easy. And you watch, in fact, I have been consulting with a few brands behind the scenes on video sales. And I asked one brand, I said, what are the laws that you follow for your before and afters? And they're like, we don't have any on social media, none at all, And then I would ask, how do you do your before and afters? We don't, so to your point, I think you're right on the money. We are the original, the video sales in home shopping are the original. They are the best. And it just needs a little tweaking and a little evolution in addition to 100%. Yeah. 100%.
We all want to evolve, right?
Yes.
We all want to, right? The best example of evolution. There was a season of Oprah, right? So every year Oprah would do her like next season. And every year she would come out and you would be like, oh my gosh, she has curly hair now. She has straight hair.
Yes. She has a wagon full of fat with her.
Right. She sang her own theme song.
Yes.
So there was like the brand new Oprah season. I'll never forget this. She walks out and you're like, oh my gosh, you just look like an evolved version of Oprah for this season. And her first guest was John Travolta. And John Travolta came out looking like Danny Zuko as a 60s. I was like, you look ridiculous.
He hasn't evolved.
Not today, John.
You need to evolve and know that we support you in that evolution.
Yes.
You to just think that, go back to that well of, oh, they loved me when I was Danny Zuko in like Greece in 1981, 79.
Right.
I was 13 times. So I was just like, I saw the dichotomy, the contrast of her evolution and he thinking that he's just going to stick in the past.
Yes.
So I don't want that for Shop HSN, QVC, Shop HQ, whatever the iteration is. I want us to evolve. And here's where the evolution is. What you guys are doing.
Do you think?
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Because I think that authenticity is everything.
Yeah.
And you cannot fake it.
Mm-hmm.
People know. People they see it through you. They see through it. They see when they're being sold to now. They see when they're being conned. Like you can watch podcasts. I just watched a podcast with a politician and a guy the other day. And I was like, this guy looks like a complete idiot and he's lying.
Like your bullshit meter went off.
Yes.
On everything. This is authentic. This is saying all the same old lines.
Yeah, girl. Mm-hmm.
The buzzwords.
When when you see these even if they're edited, you still see the real Becky. You
Warts
can't.
Yes, words and all. But I think that's what we loved about each other, and we love about guests like you that we intentionally bring in, and we love about this community that we are so lucky to have the microphones for. I mean, we're just part of a community and we happen to have the mics, is we've always operated on authenticity. Yes. Even when it's embarrassing or even when it gets us in trouble, it's like we don't know how to be anything else. Yeah. And I feel lucky for that, and feel lucky that it had been well received and we found other people like you to be part of that. You know, again, creating clear boundaries around what you want.
But that's when the magic happened.
Yes.
That you guys just described. When that all comes together.
Yes.
That authenticity, great personalities, amazing product.
Yes. And I think, you know, you said it earlier, Morgan, like a kind of a comedy of errors throughout your life, but all of those moments have brought you to like this incredibly, I mean, clearly joyous, happy, settled part of your life that I think that's what you are living, Morgan, is the goal I think we all want.
When people say goals, that
is to feel happy in the life they've created.
That's it. Fulfilled.
I 100% agree with that. And it's so funny because I've had 3 offers to do podcasts.
Have you? Okay.
I have.
Thank you for choosing us.
No, not on a podcast. I've had a couple ask. Oh, I did a Facebook Live. My first one was with Kimberly.
Yes, that's right. Kimberly
love Kimberly Wells.
She was early to that dance.
Yes, she was.
Those behind the scenes.
She's been early. You know that I know Kimberly from HSN. Like, we couldn't work together because we together were so much.
Like, you guys could be one of those windmill energies. Like, literally the lights turned on when you got in the studio together.
I was energetic, but for some reason when we were together, we were just like compounded times 10.
That's awesome.
And so I always needed like Erin, like someone who's just like super energetic, but has like a calming effect.
Yeah, I got you, girl. Yeah. I got you. Mm-hmm.
Take me through the river a little bit. But yeah, so that was like my first time. But no, I'm talking about like Spotify.
Oh, Sirius. Yes. Oh, like your own. You should, Morgan. You're so good.
Should. Oh, I haven't. No.
You don't want to?
Again, there's I am a provider.
Sure. Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like I'm an accessory, not the main meal. I'm an appetizer, not the main meal.
You're an amuse-bouche.
I don't know. I'm going to workshop it and figure out what it is.
You're that bag of chips that comes with all that.
Yeah.
You're all that. You're the bag of chips that comes with all that.
I like to be the center of attention when the center of attention is you. Does that make sense?
I totally hear you. So what I'm hearing is, so happy you're here, takeover. That's what I'm hearing.
But I kind of like that. Maybe we come back because there's so much more to cover. Maybe we just loop back.
Little takeovers. You know, Becky said she would like to have a vacation once in a while, and I said no. But if Morgan does a takeover,
I kind of love this.
I could let you off the hook.
Right.
Gosh, okay, I would go to Minnesota for a day, but I would really want to be on with both of you guys. So
okay, great. Okay, well, we're going to keep workshopping that because women want more of you. We want more of you. We want to hear about more from you. Where can people right now shop with you? You're exclusively on HSN, and nothing's changing for you because the studio is changing. Most of our listeners really understand that change. That doesn't affect you or your business in any way, right?
I just had to say goodbye to like Valerie and
and
she's not making the trip.
No.
Okay.
Valerie. I mean, Val's got so many great things. I'm going to move my light a little bit. She's got so many great things happening for her. Erin, you know, it's like as soon as you are not in this lane, all of a sudden every lane opens up for you.
Yes.
She's got a lot of amazing opportunities, and I love her. She's one of the sweetest people ever. So no, I will be going to QVC, but I can just tell, I mean, I worked with producers during a couple of my shows. It's just a different energy completely. And friend Peter Thomas Roth has been on QVC forever, and he tells me the same thing. It's just a different energy. So I'm gonna, I want every person to try this product line.
Yes.
I love it. I hoard it. I buy it. I'm on 3 auto ships of products. I'm not even kidding.
My biggest regret is not stockpiling more of the vitamin C. Do you still make that?
No, because we've upgraded.
I know.
It.
Yes.
Now it's a serum, so you don't have to use it as your last. We have a great lab. Our lab is insane, and I do not believe I will ever use a product as good, as clean, as effective. I'm afraid every day that I will wake up and be like a troll.
It's impossible. Do you remember Jess Manuel, one of our hosts at Shop HQ, so she moved to New Zealand during the pandemic. So she lives in New Zealand now with her husband and her 2 children. Nelson, New Zealand. It's a little town on New Zealand. And do you know what her mother ships to her every single month? Active Argon.
Yeah.
So her mother orders it from HSN. We all still order. I still have a stockpile and we still order some. I still get the oil. She orders the full collection and has it shipped to New Zealand from HSN. In fact, she was like, I want to present Active Argon on the Australian network. That's how good it is.
Oh, she has to like connect with us.
I know.
I mean, it's European clean, which we are not, this,
yes.
If people call American products clean, I'm like, clean. And we ban 11 ingredients and they ban 1,500 in Europe.
Yeah.
Just off the bat. Like, what? Like, how do you even call that clean? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
If somebody hasn't shopped with you before and they'll find you at HSN, what do you think is the number one thing they should start with from your Active Argon collection?
As I was saying to Becky, is that balancing out your skin, that we weren't born with combination skin. I think the oil, but when you first use it, mix it with a little water. Yes. Because it's the same size molecule as water. And so let that be your delivery system. The oil will change your life. And then you'll understand this molecular difference that when it's landing in your skin, the oil stops and reverses the cascade of aging symptoms. And I think that's the easiest way to say how I look like, what I look like. So I don't like, it's not just my face, like my arm, nothing has the cascade of aging that it had 10 years ago.
That's right.
That's the crazy part.
That's right.
It's like it's stopping it and then it's reversing it. And if you first try the oil and you're like, I'm not into oils, just mix it with a little water because it's about the same size molecule. So it just emulsifies in your skin. And then you can branch out to the resurface vitamin C, whatever your issues are. First, we got to balance your skin.
Yes.
First, we got to get your skin hydrated so it stays hydrated. Mm-hmm. So we stop that cascading of aging. And then all things are possible once your skin is kind of at that baseline level of satisfied.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Really
so
good.
if you have tried argan oil before, friends, this is not argan oil. This is activated. So to Morgan's point, it's a different molecular level. It goes deeper into the skin. And I know so many people not only use it on their face, but they cocktail it with their body cream, for their entire body. I drop it sometimes in the bathtub.
Sarah Skilrud ran out. We were with Sarah Skilrud was a guest at Shop in your season too. She ran out. She showed me her chin. She had a little breakout, and she said, "This is what happens when I don't use my Active Argan."
Oh, you know what I saw? So we follow the Foster sisters. And Sarah Foster put it on her stories that she had a breakout and she used Morgan's Active Argan and it took her breakout away.
See,
can I say that out loud? Do we have to edit that out or is that okay?
No, she did it. And
yes.
He asked for her and I met her in Hawaii and we had a mutual friend and I said, so-and-so said to say hi because she knew that we both went to the same resort in Hawaii. And she was like, we were talking and she's like, I don't know, my age came up or something like that, how I knew blah, blah, blah. And she's like, how do you look like this? And I was like, I actually happen to have this and you can take it with you. And then she started buying it on her own. And then she finally made a whole thing on her podcast about it.
Yes.
which was very sweet. And it's still kind of a sleeper brand because it's got a tough name. People don't really understand what it means. And even my friend Peter Roth was just like, you got to change it to back to Morgen Schick. You got to be Morgen Schick again. And this has to be your, and I was like, you wanted to be famous your whole life since I've met you. Like, Veronica was the same way. Veronica wanted her name. And I'm like, I get it. You guys, I get it. I just don't want it. And so active argon, once they understand that it's argon oil that's added an oxygen and an ozone molecule and it creates a smaller molecule, then they understand, oh, that molecule is a driver for vitamin C, vitamin retinol, whatever it is that buffers it but brings it into the skin deeper. And that's why you have not just the, good effects, meaning like I don't have age spots. I don't have, I move my face.
Yes.
Have any Botox, any fillers, any threading, any I don't do lasers, none of that.
Wild. So good.
All just based on what I was telling you, Becky, about we're baseline keeping your skin super calm and hydrated, then building those actives that make change. So you A, stop the cascading of aging, and B, reverse the cascading you are. And you didn't get all those problems overnight. Those symptoms show up overnight. So you got to give it a little time. Sure. But I promise I'm only proof of concept.
Yeah.
I'm not. I am literally proof of concept.
You are.
That's
well,
so
you're very
good.
special to us. And we need to have you back on. We need to have you back on a lot. Will you come back on when everything's ready to launch so the girls can
Yeah, you can cut all that out if you guys want.
We're not cutting anything out, baby. Here's where
Our
we go.
fannies are sandy.
Yes.
We're
not cutting anything out, sweetheart. This is all going in, unless you tell us we
and
have
hold
to.
on too. And this is the Palladio, right? I want to show the girls. This is what you. Yeah.
We're all going to be
We'll
wearing
link that tomorrow. We will link that
every day, every single day. You will not see me. Well, bronzing, tinted bronzing. Oh,
The bronzing drops.
I have the bronzing drops on right now. Tinted bronzing drops are the active argon molecule. I think we might be out of them right now. We are having major raw material issues in Italy and in North Africa, in Morocco, where our argon comes from. Yeah. So we are out of a lot of things. We're out of the SPF. We're out of the, I think we're out of the bronzing oil because we are having such crazy raw material issues. We're having raw material issues for the glass bottles. Everything has to be in glass.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. No oil. You can never use an oil that is in plastic because the oil molecule and the plastic molecule is the same molecule, so they leach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why my products are always in glass. Yeah. Because I don't want any of that plastic leaching into the oil because it's a fatty acid.
That's right. Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, science for you guys in the morning.
We love that you do all the work. I got to go through my stash and see what I have remaining. But that active argan oil is on repeat for so much. So girls, start with the active argan oil. Morgan always posts on your Instagram is where you're most active, right?
I am most active on Instagram. I have 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Good.
I don't even have.
I don't even have a TikTok yet.
Well, you have one.
My God. People are always like, I'm not on TikTok because I'm worried that they're going to sell my info. I'm like,
they already have it.
They already know who we are.
A long time ago. So you may as well just
join the 20.
Basically where I get my news.
Yes.
I've stopped TikTok since I got that cheap quarter zip from my husband. But and a lot of people have asked me to do brands on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm okay. I would talk about makeup brands that I love, but I don't work for any of them. Yeah. I did do a UGC for Solid Core, which is a workout class. I haven't seen it yet, but I did that. And then I did one for OG. Yes. So, and I would have done it for free, and then they sent me for like, hey girl. But when I
not for profit, Morgan.
Not for profit, Morgan. I know my husband's like, "Are you kidding me? You're not going to ask them for money?" And I was like, "I just support. Like, I've never gotten a penny off of Palladio, and I talk about them all the time." But
they're going to sell out after this. Yeah, there's going to be a few thousand of us wake up and sell girls all getting the same lip color.
It's not your lip color. It's like a shadow contour.
Can't wait.
So my lipstick is completely gone, but that stain making my lip look bigger is still there.
So
It's
good.
just
All day. All day.
the best hack you're ever going to do.
And it's clean, which is awesome. When you go to search for Morgan, everybody, a common mistake people make is using an A in her name. It's Morgen. So if you can't find her at first, make sure you did Gen, Morgen Schick. She always posts about when you're going on HSN. And I've always told people you can shop anything at HSN on Active Argon. When Morgan's on air, you usually get the best deals.
Right.
But I go there even when you're not on air. But when she is on air, you do get the better
P.S.
savings.
It sounds
usually.
like subscription's the way to go.
Yeah, I would definitely do subscription. Just leave a few for Jess Manuel so she doesn't have a fit over in New Zealand. She gets real mad when we don't update her.
I just did. So the other day we did, they changed the price of the stem cell elixir. I don't know, Erin, if you ever use that.
Yes.
Stem cell elixir is truly once my skin got balanced, we did the stem cell elixir, and that is what changed the density of my skin. Like my skin has never gotten thin. And
So you've got that good collagen. That good,
the bounce, baby. Yep.
That, like big little kid skin.
Yeah.
And so that price dropped. So on air, because there were only 900 left, on air, I am canceling one auto ship.
Yes.
It was like $36 and it went to $32.
What? The stem cell elixir? You can't ship that from Italy for $32.
But I love that you're a frugal queen. I love this.
Wait, you
I'm
can't.
on air and I'm like, and Tony, who's my producer, who works, I love her. She like makes all the things happen. She is like, are you literally? She's over there going.
No. And that is how I knew we were going to be friends. We also both shopped on air.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how many times the bosses said, don't you dare pull up that phone and start shopping.
Well, you both know how the story ends. I mean, if you get the sign that says, I'm sorry, your item is sold out.
Yeah. And nobody's
devastating.
more upset than those of us presenting it.
So I got it, and I will show you guys that I have the new. I will show you on my phone.
The new amount?
Under my.
I gotta go.
Under my where is it? Auto ship manager. Because it's so easy, and that's what the other people don't understand. So this is the new.
Yes.
Elixir for the better price.
Yes.
And I got it because I am smart. And then you also see my resurface.
Yes. I got to get back into the resurface because when I ran out of vitamin C, I just threw a fit.
Well, and I was going to ask too, when you're using more of the actives, that can be kind of reactive, everything is healthy, right? So because you've level set with your active argon, now you can get a little bit, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but you can go to that next level.
Molecule buffers. So let's say, and I love my friend Peter Thomas Roth, but Peter Thomas Roth's products are so what I call hot, meaning that he uses very high percentages, but there's no buffering agent.
Right.
Because the molecule, to get the molecule into with the vitamin C and all the things into your skin, if you're using a larger carrier, it's staying on this top. So they can't use that buffering agent because it's not going to let that go deep enough into your skin. So then you get all the side effects. That is where our active argon complex comes in, because I can do that amount of vitamin C, same amount he's using, but because my carrier molecule, which is the active argon molecule, is smaller, it's buffering it at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, girl. So good.
I have the most sensitive. If I had put my hand on my cheek right here, you would see a red mark just from putting my hand on my cheek.
Yeah.
That's how sensitive my skin is. So that carrier molecule is going to bring that vitamin C in, and it's going to buffer it at the same time. So you're never going to get the side effects. I have the same thing with the retinol. I have very high percentage of retinol, but because we have the active argon molecule as the carrier molecule, it's buffering it at the same time.
This is so important. People stay away from it.
I don't have, I don't wear makeup. I only have a little bit underneath my eyes. That's why I don't have any spots on my skin.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Stunning.
And I don't use retinol in the summer because I'm going to go for a run right now. I will get some spots over the summer. And then in the winter, when the UV is lower, I will use retinol every single night or every other night.
Yeah.
I can do between, resurface one night, retinol the other night.
Yeah,
like
that's
that
smart. I even have it with self tanner. I mean, why would you do a retinol when you're trying to,
Totally.
have a little glow?
Totally.
Yeah.
Guys, I could talk all day. But it's 1:45. And
are we past your
which
lunchtime?
is amazing, which is so, you know what that means? You know when you get on the phone with your girlfriend and you're like, oh, I have to tell you something quick. And then 2 hours pass and you're like,
yeah,
that felt good. That's what this feels like.
so much fun, you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Will
doing
you
this.
come back on our podcast again, please?
Anytime Erin, when you texted me, you were like, I have a podcast. I'm like, of course.
I was shy to ask because I'm like, I don't ever want anyone to feel obligated, But the girls have been asking for you and we've always looked up to you.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm just going to go for it.
So
I'm just
good.
going to send her a note.
I was so honored. I was just, first of all, remember, most people really just, they want to be famous. So I personally just want you guys I want you to succeed.
Thank
and if
you.
I can help anyway, or if I can make somebody feel better about their day or their future.
Thank you.
Well, you've already done it.
Well, and we just want a community of people, mostly women, who know they have a place to belong, who know they have a place for a good giggle, and who know that they have other women surrounding them.
That's it.
Even when we're not physically together.
Yep.
So thank you for being such an amazing part of that and helping us do what we want to do and just have a really cool community of great gals around us.
You're the best, Morgan.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
so
much.
appreciate you. Everybody, we'll put all of her details in all of our descriptions. So if you want to find her on Instagram, check out Active Argon and HSN. We will keep you updated and share when Morgan posts about her consulting and concierge service and her...
I have the name for that yet. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
But-
Yep. And keep those fannies sanitized,
That's
everybody. We'll let you know how to shop for those as well.
If it gets big, I'll do a sponsorship for you
Thanks,
guys.
babe.
Okay, fun.
Thank you. We love you so much, Morgan. Thank you for this.
Guys,
Have a great summer,
have the best
Morgan.
day.
Thank you.
too.
Okay, a quick reminder, you guys, our first supporter of our podcast, it's Daily Fascia. Daily Fascia offers the most practical, easy to follow techniques to help you unlock your body's hidden potential. It's for freedom, it's for flow, it's for relief. If you're struggling with recurring injuries, stiffness, or you just want to move more freely, Daily Fascia has got you covered. You're going to use the code HAPPY50 to get 50% off your first course at dailyfascia.com. We have all the information for her different coursework, her YouTube channel, all listed and tagged below. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you, but if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.